told by LAPD, a sexual assault suspect inside the car here.
Well, now you can see why authorities are really trying to get this person to pull over. But again, as you're talking about it, they may have a warrant also for, is it sexual assault out of Boston, or those could possibly be unrelated as of right now? Chris, we're still probably trying to find the details.
Don't know, but the initial reports were that there were a series of crimes. So there may be
Let's go.
More than one crime
Milky,
associated
welcome.
here. Unclear whether that assault happened in Boston or if there's a separate crime that we're talking about out here on the West
welcome.
Coast. Don't even know if it's his vehicle. Right now, it's just kind of
on
a
the
lot
wrong
of unknowns
scene.
that we're working with. LAPD seems to have more intel, though, so they have more information than we do. We'll see if we can try and gather some more of that, but obviously a little more to this story here as we get a little bit closer, and as he gets closer to us, he has now fully passed LAX, the LAX area, and is continuing now northbound.
Yeah, there was a pursuit earlier, Louis.
Nobody does that, seems, in LA.
Luis, it's probably Luis, right? Anyway,
and then you have the
there was,
behind him.
but I was actually in the middle of doing something, and I think it was really short anyway.
Obviously, one suspect
I
right
couldn't,
now, it looks like, unless there's someone.
I could not stream it.
So it's hard to see in the back seat.
I wasn't at home.
That front passenger seat is empty. It's a Lincoln Aviator. As
Lincoln
he starts
Aviator.
to exit the freeway here. What transition is that, Johnny? I think he just got onto the. Is this going to be?
What's up,
the
SF
90
and Sasha and EK and KOKO and
He's getting
Winnie?
off the 405 at Howard Hughes. So
Wanted
he is
sex
getting
offender.
Off at Fox Hills here. You can see the
So,
full pursuit package making their way off the freeway with him. Again, they were.
I guess
started, I
they'll
believe,
stay on this.
in county territory. That's on.
Sean, what's up? And King Ed, what's
I'm
up?
being told it started in Wilmington. LAPD picking it up in their
Okay.
Harbor Division. These are Southwest units that have chased them all the way up the 405 freeway here, and you can see them now on surface streets here at Howard Hughes Parkway in Westchester, where if he continues in this direction, there will be a little bit of cloud cover here, but it looks like he is getting back on the freeway possibly.
Yeah, I was going to say, again, we're all really familiar with these areas, and it is pretty amazing that the streets are empty.
Yeah, I mean, this would be a time they could do a pit if they were authorized to do it or whatever. Crack, what's up?
If he gets back on the 405, he's going to see that
oh, no, look at all the traffic.
We all kind of know.
Oh, no.
And maybe this person,
it's at this point in time he knew he fucked up for real.
They may not know this area very well, Chris,
oh,
and they
no.
are trying to head back to the
there they
original
are.
spot where they started this pursuit.
Oh,
because
no.
LA is tricky.
It is. It
oh, the buildings
is,
just keep going, dude. Okay.
Regret this move because he's now gone
Where is it?
southbound side of the freeway. So
yo, you guys are not looking at the right spot.
Got off and
oh, there he is.
The
Okay.
freeway on the southbound side where there happens to
Shall I
be
tell you what's up?
a little bit heavier traffic, as you can see here. It's not exactly a traffic jam, but you can see heavier volume, a little bit slower speeds here. Again, a maroon-colored Lincoln Aviator now traveling.
So apparently it's not stolen. If it's not stolen, what are we doing right now?
Here. But right now they have limited.
Why are they
the
doing
pursuit,
this?
Pit maneuver, rather, not an option with this many cars on the road, and then of course setting
Well,
up for a
because
spike
here,
strip
give me. I'll give you a little reason why I say that. So if they know who is driving this vehicle, then they usually it doesn't really matter if you chase them or not, right? Like you can find this person later. Prediction, good call, thank you. And I'll do that little YouTube thing. Remember the like thing? Let's go, hit the like button.
And now they are continuing to cruise right along with him at about 60 miles per hour still.
We see if he
hit the thumbs up.
Very interesting. You know, when he was going northbound, it certainly had a nice opportunity perhaps for a pit maneuver. But now that the traffic situation has gotten a little bit more heavy there, it's that's out of the question.
Yeah,
okay, prediction is up. Will this chase last for 15 minutes?
Going exceptionally fast. He's basically choosing to stay in that right lane, hugging the right lane. We'll see if he sets up for another exit.
You're telling me serial rapist?
The 405. Anybody's guess,
is that true?
But you just kind of wonder what more there is to this story. And again, from what we could tell, there's nobody in the front passenger seat. A little bit early to say.
I mean, if we're saying this is his vehicle, though,
getting off the freeway once again. This time I think it's going to be Florence or Manchester Avenue.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
See where this person goes, because again,
whole thing seems a little weird.
We're not quite sure if this person knows where they are located, let alone knowing the
I mean, you oftentimes will
to
get something like this if like they just raped someone like moments ago or something like that. I don't know.
Calm pursuit, Chris, as
41K on yes. Yo, MKRQ, 59 months. That's almost like 2 years or something. Thank you.
And law enforcement.
Yeah, they always prefer to keep it on the freeway if at all possible. But with this kind of driving, it's really anybody's game here. And quite frankly, time is on the side of law enforcement. He has a finite amount of
time
fuel,
always on the side of law
tank,
enforcement.
and we have no idea.
You wonder why they don't
but,
just box people in, trap them, whatever, man. Time is always on their
to
side.
keep up with them and follow him. If it really is basically just a following, it's not a following, it's a pursuit, but they're basically following him at these relatively slow speeds.
From Boston?
They can do this all day long until the vehicle
So wait.
gas, and you can see them certainly slowing down with him here at this intersection.
This guy,
Glasgow Avenue,
what?
At Manchester Boulevard. He's going through
This
Manchester
is in Los Angeles.
and continuing south here. So they're going to continue right along with him. Going much slower.
What's
now,
up, RG and Bill and JT?
More of an
and Tony, what's
area
up?
Here near the airport.
Yeah.
Oh, and Controller and Shy Girl Kim, what's up?
Probably more pedestrians involved, but we've never really seen.
If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up.
Slowly,
And very cautious. The driver's very cautious and making sure they're minding the rules of the road.
Yeah, this guy making Boston look bad. What's up, Bill?
Not pulling over, but again, we believe this suspect is wanted for a series
almost
of
5 years. Whoa, that's crazy.
Sexual assault.
El Homer, what's up? In Queso. Good to see you.
Into custody, and this might be that time, Chris, where they start to sort of get an idea.
This street
of where
really
this
named after
person is gonna go,
CarMax?
so they could possibly put a spike strip down or use some other means to get this driver to pull over.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It looks like this might be coming to an end, right? They're not running really at this point.
If they do give the go-ahead for a pit maneuver, that could be an option. Right now, they're kind of cruising. I mean, look at how he, to your point, he's stopping at the stop sign, stopping at red lights, really obeying most of the traffic laws here.
I mean, he's going way under the speed limit right now, I assume.
But obviously, as I mentioned, a lot more
chasing a rape suspect from Boston.
Unclear whether they, whether he.
I mean, I don't know why they got to say that.
Another crime, or if maybe they just
What's the thing about friggin' Boston?
Again, supposedly out of Boston. So
oh, El Homer, really?
Here, southbound on Glasgow
El Homer said that the
empty,
chase this morning, they passed him on the
commercial area
on the freeway.
Street to themselves. If they want to execute a pit maneuver, now wouldn't be a terrible time, or they could just go along with him here. Right now, it's anybody's guess, but he is. Yeah,
Celtics fans. This guy got to be a Celtics fan.
Here. Yeah, it makes you wonder, what is he thinking? Maybe he's thinking of giving himself up, and because you see him braking quite a bit, at the stop signs, and then continuing.
Man, it looks like they're far as fuck away, like all that exhaust fumes.
There, maybe.
Yeah, there's always the possibility that they may be efforting to contact the driver, whether they've been able to maybe track down relatives and they were able to actually negotiate with him or get a dispatcher on the line with him or a negotiator. That sometimes is the case. Purely speculation on my part. No information that we have yet that they have managed to actually contact.
No, Kenny, you're just in time.
It would not be uncommon or surprising if they choose to go that route and decide that this is
we got 5 cop cars. Okay.
That they can negotiate with. Otherwise, again, we always have the option of setting up for a spike strip or a pit maneuver. Of course, for that spike strip, he'd have to establish a little bit more of a pattern, but they certainly have plenty of resources at their disposal here. Now he's on La Cienega Boulevard, which is going to be a much more, a larger street, a busier street. But right now,
they are, Vic. Oh, so this is no-fly zone area.
Century Boulevard.
Yeah.
Fox said he's a serial rapist. Sheesh. Okay. Now we got it frozen. I better look at the other news stations.
Most routine traffic stop violation leads to something.
Okay, we got it. I think Eliana might be on it.
So that might have been the situation where they.
I don't know. Her video's worse.
Like they don't know where they're going. If they are in fact from Boston, and then
it's not Eliana. It's another guy on NBC.
From other jurisdictions.
The daytime guy, I guess.
Obviously. Concerning because police never know who they're going to encounter when the person actually
so this
does
could keep getting
over,
worse.
But right now they
if
are
they just
stopped.
keep going further
and
away.
It's very interesting to see what is going. This is that cat and mouse game that these pursuit suspects have with law enforcement.
That's exactly right. And to your point,
so much exhaust.
We now have word that they are operating under the suspicion that that suspect is possibly armed inside
Oh,
of the vehicle.
okay.
And that obviously
Armed and
does change
dangerous.
the calculus quite a bit going forward in this pursuit here. So information starting to trickle in here, possibly armed suspect.
KCal's on it too, thanks,
This vehicle, a
Scanless.
sexual assault suspect.
I've got KCal up, I've got
here
NBC and ABC.
at 104th Street in Westchester, getting closer to
Actually,
LAX
believe it
as
or
he
not,
continues down La
CBS,
Cienega. Unfortunately,
KCal, whatever, is on the
we
opposite end of
for the
this. It's
time
actually a
being
little
are
bit
stuck
better
on the
video.
north side
I think
of
I'm going to
LAX
switch
as
to
we try
that.
and navigate
It's a little bit better.
airspace here. We're talking to air traffic control, trying to see if we can get across the runway to meet up with the suspect on the other side.
Oh yeah, ABC's got to reassess their
left,
situation. They're
turn signal
so
on right
far
now.
away.
This is somebody
So we switched just in
LAPD
time.
may have been on the radar, and perhaps the license plate or something dinged or pinged, and that's when maybe the pursuit started, right?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they may have been, getting ready to serve a warrant or something like that from what we've been hearing. So, this may have been a planned operation. And I'm also hearing this on kind of a weird frequency, a tactical frequency, which, again, makes me think that this was, a planned operation that they were trying to take this person into custody. So if they confronted them at their house or whatever, or if they had been following them in a vehicle, I'm just zoomed way in while we have this opportunity to see if we see anyone
How many
else
cars?
in the
I don't know, at
vehicle.
least 5.
I don't see anyone in the passenger seat, so unless there's someone in the back, it looks like the driver may be the only person in the vehicle.
What's he
Looks to be
doing
a
with his
guy,
right hand?
and this is
Just one hand on the wheel.
yeah, a Lincoln. Maybe a Lincoln Aviator. So I was thinking it was an SUV, but I think this is a Lincoln Aviator. Pretty luxurious car, actually. Just drove one the other day.
Nice car.
So here we are. But, really slow speeds, which at least is good news for the public as we're, getting into one of the busiest traffic days of the week in one of the busiest areas. We've got a little bit of exhaust there, Mike. We can just turn the chopper a bit. My pilot Mike is already
Mike.
pilot Mike dealing with a lot up here right now because we're still just on the southeast corner of LAX. But
Yo,
look at this, the
310,
turn
what's
signal's
up?
on. We're going slow, not trying to blow through any lights or anything like that. So definitely a weird one here. What is the end game for the suspect? We wanted for very, very serious allegations, not making any
On
serious
CBS, they aren't calling him out
away
for
from
being
the
from
authorities.
Boston.
So we'll just see
That's
if they're
such a
trying to
wild
run the clock
detail to be
or,
putting in
what they're
there.
trying to do
What's
here.
up, Vino?
And there are so many patrol
Crazy.
vehicles behind this car, and so often they will stop a pursuit if they know who they're after, if it becomes too dangerous. But this driver has just been going the speed limit, following the rules.
He's stopping
of
at
the road,
stoplights
stopping
even.
at intersections. So that's certainly a good thing. But they clearly don't want to let this person go. And at these speeds,
Yeah,
might
they
even
know
be able
who
to,
it is. A
get
person's
a
from
smoke
out of
strip out.
state,
Or
driving a
pit
nice
maneuver, because he's
vehicle,
not going at too
not
high of a speed
really
at this point.
looking like it's a pursuit right this one. I mean, they're not
Very
like
possible.
doing
You would
anything
think. I mean, we're
desperate.
on a pretty wide street right now. We're
So
on
I
a
don't know.
real
It's just
highway.
it's
if they
there's
get the
more that we
opportunity, we'll
don't
see maybe
know,
if
as
they
always.
Get the chance to,
Always
do
more that we
something
don't
like
know.
that.
So
We're
I
gonna
always
be
wonder,
getting
like, why
on
are they
the
doing this?
freeway right now,
It's
though.
probably
It's,
an explanation, and I just
hang tight
don't
as we go
know
underneath the,
because I can't know.
105. Yeah, so we're actually going to be getting, I think, on the eastbound 105 right now. That is an interesting choice for this suspect because this is one of the worst.
Apparently,
freeways,
Kenny, I don't know.
To be getting on.
That's
Thursday
that's what
afternoon
that's
right
what
now.
ABC
We were
wants you to
coming-
think.
Yeah, and when we were coming westbound on the 105 to come and intercept this pursuit, there was a lot of really awful traffic. Well, now actually that might have been the connector to the northbound 405. Not that that's going to be much better. However, for us, this means we're probably going to have to go over the top of LAX and deal with all of that again. So that's going to be kind of aggravating for us. But should be able to stick with this one, especially since the suspect not going, very crazy at all. So, yeah, what is the end game here? I just, wonder if they're just kind of out for one last stroll before the inevitable.
I don't know if
before
they're
they
out
end
of
up
state
in
place. They
handcuffs.
said the
So many
person's
times
from
we see, really
Boston,
insane
so
driving,
guess so.
And that is just not the case right now. Well, let's see. Are they going to get off the freeway here at Century Boulevard? Or
Hit the thumbs
kind
up
of trending these
if you're
days,
on
right lanes
YouTube.
gonna be back off the freeway.
I know some of
it's
you are on
really,
YouTube.
Kind of wide open in this section.
ABC's
this
got a
section
good
here is
angle
kind of
again.
deceptive of the 405 between the 105 and like the 90. Even at this time of rush hour, as they are exiting the freeway, so just kind of
NBC's
looping
a
around
little
LAX
ahead.
now. But that's one of the only sections of the 405 northbound that could be.
So
this
if you're
open
watching that, don't
in the day.
spoil.
If they would have continued north of there, you would have that
NBC's a
typical,
little ahead. ABC's
awful
behind.
traffic. So back off the freeway. We'll see how we can do this dealing with LAX. Yeah, so I was hoping we were leaving LAX, but now the suspect has decided that they want to just kind of hang around the airport. When we heard about him here earlier, I was thinking that they were going to try to make some kind of serious attempt to ditch the helicopter and, you know, get out of the vehicle and run, but that has not been the case. I mean,
they haven't made much attempt to do shit, honestly. NBC's a little ahead.
They have not done that. They just kind of continue to.
Oh, Charles, what's up?
I say almost just kind of joyride around.
On the phone, smoking meth. Yeah, I guess who knows. I got problems with my YouTube.
To look, he has a chance now to get into that.
My YouTube chat's not loading very good on the app I'm using. That's just how it goes.
I don't know.
He has his turn signal on at times. He's making a turn here, sticking pretty much now in the very same area. He was on the freeway for just a very short amount of time. Not any crazy driving. We're not seeing high speeds.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's got any plan
the issue for
at
us
all.
is just the proximity to LAX. This is an area that our chopper cannot.
Why they always got to be by LAX?
And around, obviously, because of all the air traffic that comes into.
Like, I don't think this guy's doing it on purpose.
TFR, right?
Sometimes.
Well, this is what they call the Bravo airspace here. It's not a temporary flight restriction. There's just a lot of restrictions in this area, really, at all times. In fact, now we've also got this marine layer kind of creeping over the top of LAX, which could also
not the marine layer.
Us, depending on what the suspect decides to
not
do.
the fucking marine layer.
Like he's going into LAX right now. So let's see what the plan is for this suspect.
He's gonna go catch a flight back to Boston. Hold on, we might have to switch here.
Behind these buildings right now. It's almost like they just don't want to be seen by the helicopters.
Everyone's in the same spot trying to figure it
out. Cutting through a
out.
parking lot there.
Okay.
And but you know, kind of gingerly cutting through. Nothing crazy. I mean, there was a pedestrian there, but it's got to be quite a sight. That guy's wondering what is going on.
This is actually ABC straight lost it just now.
But you can see. Yeah, we're in just this very tough area here, westbound Century Boulevard. This, you know.
Okay, I might switch this to NBC right now. It's a little better.
There they are again, and this continues. So.
And I have to
boy,
say,
I don't know. I mean, kind of wondering if.
Yeah,
go ahead, Amy.
Going through that parking lot was almost the most aggressive move.
And that's going to take us back into the Westchester area, I believe.
Jerry, what's up? Hit the thumbs up.
We're going to have to try and get on the other side. Otherwise, this is going to be a really long shot here.
Was there a prediction? There was, and now I really let it go. We got to start it again. Yeah, so the prediction outcome is yes. Almost everyone said yes. And we will start it again.
To anyone at this point.
But again, we're right in that LAX area. I know that makes it hard for you, but he or she driving away from that area.
Thanks for a reminder, Crack.
Yeah, pulling away, that will take him over here into the other side of the Westchester area, perhaps into some residential areas. We just don't know what he's going to do, or we don't.
Was that a Holiday Inn? I don't know.
This area, so
this guy's trying to get out of the way.
Plan, purpose, or anything for any of the turns or anything that he's doing. He's got to realize at this point, as we try and figure out what's going through this driver's head, what the plan is. I mean, he's got, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 patrol cars behind him, and I'm certainly, without certainty, they are certainly calling ahead for other law enforcement agencies
without
ahead,
certainty, certainly.
Cars and whatnot, and of course he's got LAPD Aviation over him.
Dimitri,
so
what's up?
Really
Why not
no
box him in? They don't want to fuck around with that. They don't box people in.
Point.
All right, Aviation Boulevard right there, so still in the
it's not
LAX
a good thing to
area. Do. And you can see some of the marine layer blowing in there, some clouds.
Damn
right
marine
now.
layer.
Roland,
he does not seem certain about anything.
Of this is not necessarily the driving we're seeing here.
Certainly uncertain.
This
What's up,
driver
John?
has been pretty much paying attention to traffic signals, going at a slow speed, hasn't threatened anyone. No pedestrians have been involved, no accidents here, but it's the seriousness of the want. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, so the sexual assault or the sexual offender accusation or allegation is definitely one that LAPD is going to want to take seriously. We've seen a number of pursuits where officers will, you know, just due to speed or safety, that sort of thing, that they will abandon.
Man, it feels like this is going to end, but like, what is the plan, right?
I don't believe believe this is going to be one that they're going to let go. This is possibly
they're clearly not letting it go.
Sexual offender, possibly a violent sexual offender. So they don't make a habit of letting these type of suspects go.
Is there, Charles? I better look into
They're
that a little bit.
The suspect's heels until they can bring this thing to an end. And he just made a right onto, I think it's Isis or Hillcrest, I should say, and still just at a very low rate of speed. Now, we talked earlier about a pit maneuver. This is actually too slow for a pit maneuver for that to be really effective. So I would think the tactic at this point would be to try and get ahead, do a spike strip, and try and flatten the subject's tires.
Yeah, you're right, Sean.
We have not heard just yet whether or not they're going to do that. So it's anyone's guess at this point what their tactic is going to be to try and bring this to an end.
Well, the vehicle is absolutely crawling along.
I made a
right
short
now, so
of that mom who was coming out
seen
at the end of that chase.
And that is stopping and bailing.
And
out
I
of
don't
the
know. I
vehicle,
think
but
that video should blow the fuck up. It's like the exact type of video that does really well on YouTube. But it's not doing that great. It's doing all right.
Now they're right behind that building, but we're going to stay with it. Just want to remind you that we'll have the very latest on this pursuit and what happens in the
Where is he?
On the NBC4
He must have
News coming
turned.
up at 5, 6, 7, and 11.
Oh, he's on that road right now.
We're going to continue to follow this right now. As you can see,
there
a number of LAPD patrol cars in this relatively slow speed pursuit. Wanting to catch up
Charles.
with this driver.
Don't spoil it, but let us know if there's something we need to know.
A wanted sex offender.
Don't tell us if we haven't seen it yet.
We have right now, and that's why they want the driver to stop.
Arab, what's up?
Where are we right now?
Oh, ZZ,
Sorry.
what's up?
Okay, so we're in the Inglewood area. We're off of Olive and Glasgow.
And yeah, anti-pit speeds.
He's
thinking
going northbound on Olive Street, and so this is going to take us into. This right now is kind of a quasi-commercial area, but as you go further north into the Inglewood area, he should be going through some residential areas, and so we'll see what he does here as he comes to this this intersection here, whether or not he plows right on through or makes a right. This is going to be Manchester, so now making a right on Manchester, that would be taking him eastbound on Manchester into the Inglewood area.
And again,
it looks like my
ago
chat on the screen is not showing the YouTube. I don't know why.
Originally of the stolen vehicle and police in pursuit. We haven't seen erratic driving. We haven't seen fast speeds. We haven't seen anything really that would put anyone in danger. Again, it's the wants. It's the seriousness of the wants. That police are interested in stopping this driver, but so far to no avail. He or she continues to wind around these streets, and we're really not yet seeing a pattern.
And Timberlake, what's up?
Right turn. We'll see if a pattern develops, and that's when you said they could possibly lay out a spike strip.
Yeah, and I've not heard that yet on the scanner. Certainly, you would think that with the number of officers involved here, someone's qualified to do either a pit maneuver or to get a spike strip deployed. We have not heard that yet, but this would be a perfect opportunity to do that. The subject is certainly going slow enough to give them an opportunity to get up ahead.
Maybe, Dimitri.
And have the element of surprise.
They're going to pit, you think so? I mean, he's going so slow.
This is near Glasgow and Olive Street in a parking lot here. I don't know what business or what building this is, but going through this parking lot, and I'm certain that this subject probably doesn't know whether or not this goes all the way through or not. It looks like it does.
CarMax.
Looks like the street is right there.
Looks like it. Okay, looks like he's going to be popping it back out onto La Cienega Boulevard.
Like, this guy's from out of state.
Right on La Cienega, again, that's going to take him
YouTube
right
is
back
10 seconds behind? Are you
complex
serious?
Again, really, again, no rhyme or reason to what he or she
Charles
is
says
doing,
they've authorized the pit.
But
Okay.
definitely doing all they can to try and elude.
He's listening to the scanner. He says they've authorized it.
I don't know
So
what
we
kind
might
of
be
vehicle
seeing
this
that.
is and what
But he's
the
going
gas
so slow.
situation is. This
You know, they like to
pursuit
do
has
it at
been
like
going on probably now for
30,
the better
45
part of an
miles an hour,
hour
like in
or
that
so.
range. And this guy's going like 20.
Started out with a full tank of gas or a half tank of gas.
Look at this. So
we just don't know.
Fanning out again their patrol cars. They position them in this way.
Yo, Gino, what's up? It's too slow,
one goes
yeah.
out to the left, the other behind the first patrol car kind of positions themselves to the right. And right now, that driver's not going anywhere.
Yeah, driver's not going anywhere, and it looks like they're trying to position potentially for a felony car stop. If, in fact, that driver
is this a
decides to
stoplight?
start complying.
It is, right? Yeah, it is. Okay.
To the driver over their PA system, but
are they? You think they're doing there? They probably are, right? They got like their little megaphone or whatever, like telling them, "Hey, stop, pull over, blah 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 blah."
That the driver is doing, and now the driver's still proceeding southbound on La Cienega Boulevard, headed toward the airport complex again. So he should be coming up on Century here pretty quickly as LAPD, 6 cars in tow.
Yeah, they do, MK. They got big-ass speakers on their cars.
I know you've seen this before,
and microphones.
Roland, where the person even might try to pretend they're getting out of the car, and the police then start to get out of their patrol cars, and nope, the chase is back on. They get back inside. That driver didn't do that. I'm just pointing out that we have seen that happen, so it's not unusual for them to
Didn't even want to box him in. They never
did.
did.
It might come to an end, but no,
Mr. Wiggly, what's
they
up?
continue on. So we really
and Chris,
don't
what's
know
up?
what's happening in that vehicle.
We are watching him pray. Essentially, yeah. We just don't have anybody out on the street to watch it
because
yet.
They know they might be going to jail. We have no idea. We don't know if police have any idea who, exactly what they're dealing with, other than they know the person on paper.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's obeying the traffic laws.
I've got to say that it's remarkable, and also I'm glad to see that this is not the dangerous pursuit that this possibly can be. Now, we know that can change at any given moment, but at this particular time, I know LA Unified School District is not in session
if
just
this keeps
yet,
going
so
this way, I'll probably
definitely
switch
grateful for
us.
that. But we still have people that
Might be all right.
getting off of work. That sort
ABC's
of thing,
got a little
this,
better
in this
angle
particular
on it.
time bracket,
But they're also
some of them ride
behind.
bikes, some of them, walk, that sort of thing.
By
Now,
a
that
lot,
could have been a
actually.
spike strip setup. We just saw
They're
an
way
LAPD
behind.
car that was parked in the center divider there, and so we may have missed that. That could have potentially been a spike strip. Okay,
Was it?
so driver speeding up just a tad bit.
Yeah, I
and,
noticed that.
That very well could have been a spike strip situation.
And look at
now
this.
that the
Oh.
now that the driver is pulling into this gas station here, let's see what he does here. This is at the corner of 93rd and Aviation. We're still in the Westchester area. Now driving in circles, and it doesn't look like they're going to try and obstruct his movement by any stretch of the
This is
imagination.
weird.
He's just going to round robin right around them.
Yeah.
And continue going westbound.
They did try to spike him. Yo, Charles, did they get it though? Did he run it? Did he run over it? Do you
whether or
know?
not that was actually a spike strip, and whether or not that took out
Charles said that there
or
was a
any of
spike
those
strip.
tires at all. But now he has gone back to just driving at roughly 25, 30 miles per hour. That didn't seem to any contact that there may have been back there didn't seem to ruffle his feathers too much. So he's still continuing westbound into the, just coming into the LAX complex here.
And one thing that always makes me hold my breath is when the driver turns around and starts coming at the officers. That is never a good thing. I don't
they're
think
speeding up. Yo, this is
psychologically,
bad angle.
They take it very well either. And look, they're getting closer to him.
Yeah, it looks like they want to. They want to pit him. He's going pretty quick now.
A pit maneuver right behind that building. And so let's see what the driver does now, because definitely it seems like LAPD is starting to ramp up the pressure a little bit and try and bring this thing to an end. This is
hopefully he turns here.
Airport Boulevard, 93rd and Airport Boulevard.
He's not. This is not a good
still
angle.
Going westbound on Airport Boulevard.
It's not any better
and
anywhere else.
And we mentioned that this hasn't been a dangerous chase, but they also don't want to see them going into parking lots and turning around and coming at them and all of that activity. They don't want to see that either because it could potentially ramp up.
They're all in the same damn spot.
Activity.
Almost.
Absolutely. You got people
all the
that
news stations.
You know, like the gas station back there, people that are walking out of the store.
Something happened in that gas station parking lot? What do you mean?
Station. Okay, so the subject's picking up just a tad bit of speed there. It's approaching about 45 miles per hour. LAPD definitely ramping up the pressure here. And we'll just see how things change here. But it has not really changed this driver's behavior.
Watch the gas station video again? All right, maybe later.
Driving at
I mean, it just looked like he turned around, dude. It just looked like he circled around.
That was it. Thus far is at least a spike strip potentially and an attempt at a pit
30 minutes is up.
We
Thank
didn't
you.
see that because it was behind that building. So we'll have to see how this subject reacts to this at this point. But seems like LAPD definitely has this thing under control, and
they do have it under control.
Ample opportunity to get officers up ahead of this vehicle to set up whatever
he attempted to toss something out.
Tactic that they're going to
all right, I mean, we couldn't really tell.
Right, and I think the driver feels that too, them ramping up just a little bit. Now we're talking from inching along and staying back from the suspect to now, you know, going up to more like 35, 40 miles an hour. So as you said, it's not a big deal, but it is a difference from some of the driving we've seen. Now they're staying back a little ways.
I keep wanting to switch to another one if it's better, but honestly, this is not better.
If they did that, or try a pit
all the news stations are on this, and they just don't look better than this one.
Right. We'll see if he pops out here. We got a lot of buildings we got to jockey around here. There he is right there, about to enter the intersection. So I'm going to anticipate that he's going to try and. Okay,
this is him.
I'm sorry, he made a right there. I'm sorry. So that was the wrong vehicle. So he made a right there. So he's coming right towards us, Jimbo.
Keep coming towards us.
He's on Sepulveda Boulevard right now. Still not going a significant speed. But
Tina says it's not under control until he's in custody. Okay, that's a good point.
Right now, but
here, look at that.
That looks like maybe a little tap.
Whoa. Okay, here we go.
Pit maneuver is
right
what we're starting to see
he's speeding up.
But definitely they are getting more aggressive with this driver.
Are they just trying to send a message of we're behind you, we're going to stop this, hey, you know, you need to slow down? Because sometimes
I wish they didn't have this big-ass graphic on the screen, dude. It's pissing me off. Because the guy keeps driving into the graphic.
A little more aggressive.
But
wait. At this point, just listening to a little bit of the activity on the scanner, this is very intentional. This is not. I mean, they're not just giving them love taps just to intimidate them.
Wait.
They are definitely going
They
to
just showed a replay on CBS. It wasn't that it looked like the guy in the gas station, the guy who was standing out of his car, it looked like he tried to throw something in this car. It wasn't like this guy, the suspect, threw something out. It looked like someone tried to throw something in.
So they have to give themselves a little bit of space to do.
They aren't showing the replay anymore, but they were for a second.
This particular stretch right here is a good stretch to try and attempt that, and I think the subject knows
this
that
marine
too,
layer is kicking our ass. I think I'm gonna have to switch.
For the cloud cover, so we'll try and punch through this here a little bit, but definitely the cloud.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch us. Sorry.
A little bit of challenge.
This might be a little bit behind. There we go. There's the replay. Okay. Okay. Check it.
So there he is right
this
there,
guy.
Coming up on the intersection. This
oh,
is,
he threw something, and that guy threw something.
Sepulveda and
you see that? What the fuck?
Yeah. Just we'll see if we can move out of the way of this.
Everybody gonna have this marine layer problem,
again.
but
so we're coming northbound Sepulveda,
that was crazy.
Which is going to be better news for us.
What the fuck was that?
And going to be.
He ditched his CPR drive, maybe.
Up towards Culver City. And,
oh, Roy, welcome.
Of course, one of the busiest streets at any time.
And JY, what's up?
During Thursday rush hour. Still a little ways
Cops
away
have
from
that guy
Culver
in
City
custody.
and the
All right.
freeway.
Charles says they got that guy.
Yeah, there was kind of a little half-hearted attempt there with a pit, and then they just kind of seemed to abandon it. And it's interesting because This unit in the lead, you see, does not have that big brush
Dude, don't
guard,
give me this
the
replay
push
shit.
bar that we
At least
typically
NBC wasn't
see
giving
on the
us
front of these.
replays,
Those
dude.
are usually the ones that they'll use for a pit maneuver. Because
Yeah, I think I got to switch
obviously
back.
it
Their
just,
video's really good
handle
now.
pushing the vehicle around a lot
And
more
we saw
easily,
the
not going to do any damage
the
to
replay that we
the
wanted
PD
to see
cruiser.
of them
So
tossing something out. I don't want to see any other replays.
Yeah,
No other replays.
Makes the police say, you know, it's getting to that traffic hour. It's almost 5 o'clock. There are a lot more drivers out on the road. We really want to bring this to an end so that no one gets hurt.
The KTLA
We'll
one is
just have
pretty
to
good
wait
too
and
if we
see
got
what
to
they
switch. But
decide
this
to
one
do
for now,
with
I think
this
is the
driver
best.
who's been complying with all the rules. If you're just joining us, we do want to bring you up to
Oh,
date
Jamie,
on what
what's
it is
up?
we're doing here. This is
Oh,
a
and
pursuit that
G20,
started
yo.
around 3:45. We've been following. It came out as a stolen vehicle pursuit, Newton Division, chasing this driver. Slow speeds, no erratic driving here. But then we got the word this may be a wanted sex offender. So we know they really want to stop.
I wish
this
they would make their
person,
little
and
graphic
so
on the
far,
screen a little
it just
smaller.
hasn't worked out.
Kind of like how
Roland pointed
mine
out
is.
there
It's
may
a
have
little
been a spike
smaller.
strip, maybe even a pit maneuver. We've seen a couple of taps, nothing too serious, nothing that has stopped the driver, but it's amazing. The first thing I noticed, Roland, about this was just the sheer number of patrol cars behind this driver.
Right, again, more than your standard pursuit package of 3 or 4 patrol vehicles. There's extra, at least 2 extra patrol
Damn,
vehicles.
NBC usually doesn't have graphics on the screen. That's why I really like it. But today they got a huge banner.
Pretty close to the west, or I should say within the Westchester area, accelerating, picking up a little bit of speed. But yeah, this is a potentially alleged sexual offender. This is not one that LAPD is going to let go. It could have been a violent sexual offense if in fact that is the case.
What's on fire eyes?
don't
Just like the
foresee them
clouds,
letting
the
this
marine
particular
layer they
one
call
go.
it.
This is not a
From
property
the
crime like a stolen
ocean.
vehicle. We've seen them cut those short. We have seen them cut just a wild driving, that sort of thing, or reckless driving. We've seen them cut those short.
I don't really
This one,
understand
I
the
don't
science
believe they're
behind it,
gonna
but
cut
that's what
short.
it
I
is.
think they're going to stay on this subject until they can bring this to an end. Now, the question is, how are they going to bring this to an end? Because there's
He just ran a red light.
been a lot of
Okay,
ample
this is
opportunity for a spike
escalating.
strip. A lot of ample opportunity.
Heli
for
is
a pit
above the
maneuver.
clouds. Yeah, dude, they're so far away,
But,
man.
certainly,
They're
I'm
so
not a
far
police
away.
expert, so they obviously understand something about this subject.
The
and
new,
about
the
situation
actual
that
like
we are
choppers
not
from
seeing,
the
that we
police
do
can
not
fly
understand.
real low,
That is,
but the news
having them
choppers
just
got to stay the hell
continue to
out of the
pursue
way.
this subject right
So
now
far
to
right now.
the,
What's up,
the
Phil?
situation presents itself differently.
All right, Sepulveda Boulevard, always crowded right now. We're in Culver City, very busy time of the day. A couple of interesting things that we saw. The driver at one point literally stopped.
Oh, who's this guy?
We saw the police
You see this
sort of
guy?
fan
Oh,
out,
we
getting
gotta
ready
put
to make
the,
a traffic stop. Nothing happened. After,
civilian
what would you say, about
interaction
20 seconds, they finally
on the board.
took off.
We got that
And
one
the
for
other thing
sure.
was going into that gas station.
And there was a spike
basically
strip attempt as
turning
well,
around, doing a sort of
which I don't
donut
know
and
if
coming out on
they
the other side
succeeded or
near
not.
police, going the opposite
Doesn't really
way.
seem
So
like it.
Those were a couple of unusual
Toss
moves
object.
on
Oh,
the
you're
part
right. You're right.
of
Toss
this
object as
driver.
well.
Right, definitely. At these speeds, definitely a failed attempt to
And no fly
try and
zone.
juke the officers into maybe going a different direction, that sort of thing. This driver just doesn't, at this point in time, doesn't seem to be very intentional about what it is that they're going to do, and so it's just. It's an interesting thing to watch exactly
If
what
you're on
this driver's
YouTube, hit
going
the
to
thumbs
do,
up.
what's going through this
It can
driver's
help. They
head.
might boost this
I noticed
channel,
that
like show
as
it
we
to a
tried
bunch
to
of
punch in
people.
a little bit earlier, we tried to see inside the car, but it
It's
almost
happened
seems
before.
here in Southern California, when it comes to police pursuits, these drivers have to have the obligatory
Shout out to NBC
dark
for
tint,
not showing replays.
on the windows, so it makes it very difficult to see inside those vehicles and stuff. So we don't know if this is a male or female.
Count
we don't
this
know
word.
if
Nah,
there's
I don't
only
think
a
so.
single driver inside
This
this
is dark
car,
red. I
or
think
if
it's like this
there are more
maroon color.
occupants inside this car. We just do not know right now.
Yeah, and it makes it hard on the officers who are pursuing, because I know oftentimes the sheriff's department will zip in, help the CHP, say, with a pursuit. Look at this, Roland, right up on top of them.
Here they come.
But
He's
it's-
going.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean,
No,
they
I
could
was just
probably
gonna
hit a
say,
pit move.
Looks like another
Too much
potential,
traffic right now.
pit maneuver attempt. this driver definitely seems
What's up,
to be
Chado?
very aware of what the tactics are and what it is that they're trying to do. I would assume probably because of that last pit maneuver attempt that we saw before. And so they are onto the game.
They should put him now.
So
they should have. I mean, it looked like they wanted
LAPD
to.
starts to close in
So
on
I
this
think that
vehicle.
they
I think
probably
they're
are
gonna begin to
trying to pounce on
accelerate
that.
so that opportunity
Here we go.
doesn't present itself.
Here they go.
We go again. Let's see what happens.
No, he sped up.
And he starts to pull away
Yeah.
again. So
He knows.
Definitely the speeds here, if the speeds are accurate,
Yeah.
that's probably going to be a little bit
going a little
too
too
fast
fast.
for a pit maneuver right now. Generally around 35 miles per hour is that's kind of the window of opportunity, I should say, that they use to try and pit these vehicles. And so here we go again. Looks
whoa,
like,
whoa.
This might be another
Oh, he's
attempt.
going way too fast.
There's suspect.
I feel like this camera guy's not
again,
keeping up with the car
away
all that
from
well.
LAPD, and
You know?
definitely
The car is
onto
constantly
the
like
game as to
up in the
what
spot
LAPD is
where my
trying to do.
camera
So,
is, which
hopefully,
sucks.
This might present
I'm sorry
another
about that.
opportunity for them, if
I
a
might get
pattern
rid of my
develops here
camera
for
if it
them
keeps
to,
happening.
try and do
Because you guys are not
another,
seeing the car.
spike strip and stop the driver in that way, shape, or form. Other than that, every time this driver sees them approach that rear quarter panel, that driver begins to accelerate. And, you know, as they begin to accelerate, that's an officer safety issue for LAPD as well. So they have to be able to pull back when that vehicle is
It's like this dude thinks that the cop car is supposed to be the focus.
It's just not
you know?
prescribed in their training.
This is worse
to
than
do a
they're.
pit maneuver at those kinds of speeds.
I'm criticizing them, and we actually have a
pit maneuver when they're
a
turning.
command
I don't
for
know
this.
if that's because they just
But
officers have the advantage of that.
Usually
point
they're
because
really
they're
good.
literally
I want to say
slowing
that
down
they're
to
usually
turn,
really
and
good
you're
because they're
hitting
far
them
as
on the
fuck
side
away.
instead
Okay.
of bumping them from behind.
Director is not it. Direct.
Well, I was just thinking of pit maneuvers. When we see them, it seems like it's easier to do it when the driver that they're pursuing is making a turn.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they definitely get a chance to leverage a little bit of centrifugal motion.
Really, it looks like he's focusing on this car rather than this car. And it's really getting to me now.
It makes it much easier for that driver to spin out of control. And a number of these vehicles, too, have a
I'm going to switch us, I think. I think this guy's doing so bad that I'm going to switch. These other ones are going to give us replays. There's no win situation. We can't win. But I'm tired of this, so let's switch for now. I'm really annoyed by how bad this guy is.
So that if a vehicle begins to fishtail and get out of
bit getting closer, most likely to tell this driver, hey, you know what, we're serious here. You need to pull over. Enough driving around, enough keeping us, you know.
Yeah, it's a
this game
serial
of cat and
rapist.
mouse. And
They are
now
in pursuit
we're,
of.
you know, in an area that has a little bit less traffic. But as Desmond was saying, they kind of want to stick to doing the pit maneuver at speeds of less than 40 miles an hour.
JT,
turn.
that would be the move, right? But there's
like,
too many cars right
Venice
there.
Boulevard?
They couldn't do it there. But if he was taking a wide left turn, that would be the time to hit the pit.
This is interesting, and you know,
As long as they're doing it at like a decent
I was going to say
speed.
we're not going to see a pit maneuver, but you never know. We've
Now we're
actually
back on the
seen
freeway.
some pit maneuvers on the freeway.
What kind of
before
car?
with
It's a
pretty heavy
Lincoln.
Traffic. If it's done correctly, you know, it can definitely work. And this suspect is definitely going to get
Like
into
a
some
Lincoln
heavy traffic.
Aviator
tell
or
you that
something.
if you live in LA and you've ever driven this godforsaken freeway, you're getting into pretty much the worst time to be on this freeway right now. But committing here, even getting over to the left-hand lanes. Are they headed up to
They
the
make children's
Valley,
toys? Lincoln?
Or what is the plan here? And we'll see if LAPD still has any interest in perhaps a slow-speed pit maneuver. I've only seen it about 5 or 6 times in all my years of covering these. But
They're not doing a
it
pit
is
move in the middle of all these cars on the freeway.
Just about another mile,
Oh,
that's when we're
Lincoln
gonna start to
logs,
hit that
right.
really heavy bumper-to-bumper traffic.
Yeah, and I'm guessing maybe he's kind of sticking to that middle lane because he's thinking they're not going to do a pit maneuver with so many other cars.
That's true.
around.
They're not
He's
going
right there
to.
next to the carpool lane on the 405 freeway heading northbound. And as Desmond was saying, we're going to start seeing that
He said godforsaken?
traffic that
He
people
really?
start heading back home into the valley. And actually, we're looking at it right now. Look how backed up the carpool lane is right now. CHP right behind this driver, wanted for a sexual assault, possibly rape in the Boston area. And he's a driver who just does not.
I don't think so. So Crest said, is the front tire messed up? I don't.
For the most part this afternoon.
Maybe.
Only when.
Maybe.
The CHP
I don't think so. I think that's just the way the light's
bumper
hitting it.
Does he seem to pick up the pace?
Exactly. And, you know, you wonder if this person is familiar with the area. Getting on the 405 at close to 5 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon, anyone from this area knows.
Charles says Lincoln Logs is in
tough
Chapter
freeway to be
11
getting onto right
bankruptcy.
now. Always a lot of traffic at this
What?
time.
Desmond, what does it look like ahead of the?
It's true. The light comes from the other side, but I mean,
it looks very slow.
You know what I mean?
Very typically terrible, really here, especially once we hit.
I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't think the tires fucked
of,
up.
Brake lights here. You can see both sides of the 405. This is totally normal. Unfortunately for everybody. I'm wondering if CHP will take this over now. There was already a call to CHP earlier.
I think it looks just like the other one.
Maybe CHP was asking if LAPD wanted their involvement, and LAPD said they were going to stick with it. So maybe, you know, LAPD wants to just stick with this one from end to end. We do see that a lot of times, especially with the most serious accusations for the suspects, where they're just going to, you know, handle this all themselves, and that seems to be the MO of
If we could just build one more lane, the traffic would be gone. That's fucking 5-head galaxy brain shit.
Right now
45 minutes is up. Okay.
10, well, getting over to the right-hand lane, maybe we're going to get on the 10.
So long.
10's not going to be much better though than the 405.
We had some long chases now, huh?
We actually, I think, you know, never mind. We already passed that option. Already passed the connector there. If they wanted to. Get
If you have Amazon Prime, you can sub for free.
The 405.
If you're over on YouTube and you have Amazon Prime and a Twitch account, come over and sub.
Here, and it's going to be this way all the way
it's
up
free.
All right,
okay,
Desmond,
now
the
thing is up. Do you think this is going to last for 60 minutes?
We want our viewers to turn it over now to KCAL News at 5 o'clock. That's over on
This one is long but hella boring. The last one was long and boring until suddenly it wasn't.
We're going to continue our coverage there. A pursuit of a serial sexual
The last
assault
one was
suspect,
longer and more
possibly
boring
created
until
this
suddenly it
crime
was
in
one of the
the,
most exciting
Boston
chases I've seen in a
area,
long
and for the
time.
last hour or so,
It can
he's
change
been
so
driving at
quick.
speeds of anywhere from 20 to 40 miles an hour, not going too fast. Desmond Shaw and Sky Cal.
All right, we want to welcome our viewers to KCAL News at 5 on CBS Channel 2. And we have been following this pursuit for quite some time now, as you can see.
Yeah, the
there,
Whippets
this
thing,
car,
though, that guy wasn't even, that wasn't even a
Lincoln
long chase.
It's,
that was just him sitting in his
almost stopped
car
right now. It's been
for
going
hours.
back and forth around LAX for quite some time now.
That was
but now
funny,
it's
though.
northbound on the 405 freeway.
Okay,
and possibly,
most people are saying yes.
heading
And honestly,
to the
I
10
feel like
freeway.
right now this is going to
Desmond Shaw has
last.
been over this in Sky,
Especially if he
SkyCal.
stays on the
We can
freeway.
see
If he
at
gets off the
least
freeway, they might hit him
one
with that pit move.
attempted pit maneuver.
But I
believe
mean, if
there
he's
was
on
one.
here,
We thought maybe
this is
that
going
they
to
were
just
setting up
go
LAPD for
like
another pit maneuver,
indefinitely.
But, that didn't happen. This person is wanted for serial sexual assault, and from what we understand, these crimes could have happened in the Boston area. But here he is in Los Angeles, and I believe that officers
Boston
were trying
rapist.
to serve a warrant on this person, and you know, somehow that didn't happen, and he's been on the road traveling up and down the freeways, and really,
Yeah, Bill, I guess
in
you're
the
right.
LAX area for a while.
30-minute
Now
prediction,
he is
Ben.
heading northbound on the 405. And he's at the Sawtell exit right now.
Nah,
He seems
that's
to be
an
going
idea.
in and out of
Sadly,
traffic.
we can't
Haven't
even
seen
do
any
predictions
really
at all on
wild
YouTube.
moves in
YouTube
terms
needs
of
to get with that
driving.
shit, man.
We know he's
Channel
been driving
points,
rather
predictions,
slowly.
all
I
that
believe
stuff.
there may have been a point
It's what
where
makes
he
Twitch
tried
so
to
fun.
pick up speed, but look at this traffic. That's not possible. This is Los Angeles.
Animated
and
emotes,
almost
that'd be a
anywhere
good
you
one
go
for
at this
YouTube.
hour, you're going to run into heavy traffic. I'm Pat Harvey, and I'm
They
here
could just
with
rush
Darcy
him.
Glover.
Knox,
We
they
wanna get
could,
up
but
to
like,
our
dude, this is
Desmond Shaw,
America,
though,
and they
who's
think
been
he might have a
traveling
gun.
in Sky 9 and following this from the very
So
beginning.
they don't
Des?
want to do that.
Yeah, Pat, so here we are, northbound 405, the worst time on the worst freeway in the Southern California, really. Northbound 405 headed to the Valley. We first heard about this off the 110 and the 405, kind of danced around the LAX
Trucker
area
needs
for
to
a
help
really long
out, Charles
time.
said.
Really tough for us to cover. And then we saw
That could
a moment
happen.
where
Seen
they were
many
obviously
chases
planning,
where another
the
vehicle
suspect and someone
will
else
just
for the suspect
like
to hand something off to someone at an Arco
block
gas
'em,
station back on
you
Arbor
know?
Vitae over by LAX. Threw something out the
So
window,
what the fuck is
circled around
that?
the parking lot, and got back out. And
They
we've kind of been on
switched.
this northward
That guy had
trajectory
good
ever
aim. This
since.
other dude
So,
just fucking
a
throwing
very
something.
bizarre maneuver, especially
Like, this is a
because
good
LAPD was all over the
throw
place.
from
Even the
that guy.
helicopter saw that handoff And I'm pretty sure they stopped that person and talked to them and recovered whatever that was. We still have
saw a golden cabin train. Yo, we need that here.
That they recovered.
We need a hype train first.
This is
God,
just, you know, this is the other end of the extreme of the pursuit. Sometimes we have the
doing this replay shit.
High, crazy speeds.
All right, I've seen this way
ones.
too many
This
times now. We're gonna
opposite
switch.
Side
I'm
the
not.
spectrum
I'm
where
playing this.
the suspect's been going, you know, 25, 30 miles an hour a lot of times, not cutting over to the right-hand shoulder or over to the sidewalk or blasting through red lights. None of that. Stopping at every light, even using their turn signal. So, you know, what is the end game for this suspect with such serious allegations here? If they're just running out the clock or what? I mean, we have to figure now that they tossed whatever they did that they are planning something else, but. There was a
this one doesn't look a lot better or anything, but they're not showing replays, so that's it.
Armed. Where is that person going?
That's all I care about.
Coming from? So
don't show me replays.
We continue to watch the LAPD. I wouldn't say take a cautious approach, but the maneuvers that they have tried at this point have not worked to.
Bro has 5 stars for sure.
Stop. And the pursuit now continues, as you see here.
Can you replay it next time?
On a busy Thursday afternoon with rush hour traffic.
Shout out to Lee, by the way.
Roland Sproul, overhead and News Shopper 4, who's been monitoring this pursuit for us. Roland, what are you hearing from your scanner and from the chatter up above?
Yeah, I've been trying to listen to both you and listen to the scanner. I thought I heard something about the CHP getting involved, so we will wait to see whether or not they show up. But so far, very heavy traffic.
He might be smoking joints. He might be hitting like some nitrous. You never know.
Subject seems to be potentially
one of the very rare moments we appreciated the replay. It was, Sean, but then they showed it like 10 times.
Side here, northbound, coming into,
it's like we got it. You're showing it. You're showing it. Slow motion. I really am happy that they showed that, but the first time, I don't need it another time, and then I don't need it 10 times.
Right now, so still going at a very low rate of speed.
Hey, Roland, where is this guy from? I'm hearing conflicting reports. Do you have any idea of about the man behind the wheel that is wanted for some?
Said he committed the crimes in Boston.
We have not heard, other than where this actually originated was down in the harbor area.
NBC doesn't know, but we know from listening to other ones and from Charles on the scanner. This guy supposedly committed these crimes in Massachusetts.
Diligently to get that information, but we're just we're hearing more about the direction of travel. And
Roland doesn't know shit.
Exactly. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Okay.
It's kind of an evasive move. Maybe an attempt to try and juke the officers into making.
Wait, this guy's out in the street. You see that guy?
Attempt, if you ask.
See the guy standing out in the street? Oh, I forgot. We switched away from the station because they're because they were so bad. The camera was so bad. And here we are again. It's really bad again. Damn it. We might have to switch. This guy's pissing me off again.
We're unclear exactly about where this alleged sexual offense may have taken place and where this subject might
and
have,
this is what I ask Roland, and I'm going to ask our assignment desk to do some work.
I can't switch now, but
online chatter that this guy is from
that's what it was. Yo, we couldn't see it, but guys, when he did that evasive maneuver, what he called it, an evasive maneuver, it was because the police laid down a spike strip there. I just watched it on this stream, which is a little bit behind, but that's what it was. It was a spike strip. And there were like 3 cops out in the road, and they threw it down, and he just drove around it.
We did see a little bit of debris fly off.
So there you go. That's what happened.
It didn't do anything to impair the ability, the functionality of that car. It's moving as you would expect it to move. Again, not at high speeds. He's not driving recklessly.
Strip on the freeway? No, he was off the freeway.
Which bodes well for the motoring public, for pedestrians in the area. As
he was going through an intersection.
More congested here in the 5 o'clock hour.
Yeah, so frustrating for LAPD, but they are definitely
Wait,
in
Charles
control.
says they shut down the scanner. What do you mean? They just went encrypted or something? How does that work?
That spike strip. So they've got to have officers on the ground and ready to deploy it and sort of try to strategize where this driver might go next, as it looks like he exits the freeway again.
Yeah, off at Wilshire here, you're right, Sandra. They have to be precise. They have to know exactly where he's going. What's helping those officers is the slow speed. They're able to get officers ahead of the pursuit to be able to get what you just saw happen. The officers off with the spikes here, but just unfortunate that it wasn't long enough to get it all the way across the street.
CBS stopped showing it all together.
The opportunity to get around it.
Yeah, and you don't want to see this on surface streets. The more agitated the driver gets, the more likely, as we've seen, for him
Charles
to speed
says
up.
the scanner is
we
back.
have seen him do just that when the pit maneuvers were attempted.
They need
on surface
gray
streets near
tan
LAX.
spike
He was
strips,
driving
not
up
black.
into the
That's
60-mile-an-hour range.
That's so smart.
But again, he has largely obeyed traffic laws. Well, obviously with the exception of failure to yield, but stopping at red lights, stopping at stop signs, and not moving in a reckless manner. Just trying to buy time and figure out what he wants to do.
So NBC doesn't show
the right
replays.
Thing to do is to pull over and end
but
this.
The guy's terrible using the camera. We need Eliana.
Tank in a vehicle like
Please
this,
get Eliana in, have her take
on,
over for that guy.
It could go until the car will no longer go.
The other danger is that many people on the road
this
right
station
now are
will show
not
us
aware
replays
of
probably.
what is going on. Sure, they might see the police coming up, but they're not sure exactly.
And they're
which
right over
vehicle
the
is
top of the
involved. We've got
chase,
a
so
suspect
it's
inside
really
a car
awkward.
who's wanted, possibly out of state for a sexual assault, serial sexual assault. Gil, it looked like he might have thrown something out of the car there. Did you catch that?
Just now?
I did not. I'm sorry. I was looking out the window helping my pilot navigate here through through the Westwood area, but I did not catch that happening. This is a completely new area for this pursuit. It has not made its way up this far north.
I did two of them.
We'll see what the driver decides to do. It's hard to say at this point. He definitely established that pattern down in LAX.
Did you see him throw anything?
I see a left-hand turn here. This is going to be on Shelby. Yep, made that left-hand turn.
Go back on KCAL. When I was looking at that, they went away from it.
Continuing on surface streets,
the CBS News website is showing
a challenge, as you would expect at this hour.
They're showing something else.
Northbound 405 on the west side was a no-go for the suspect. He went for a little bit back onto surface streets. Really hard to get your mind around what he might be trying to do here.
Now we're in a neighborhood?
Hyper aggressive in terms of trying to escape.
Why would you do that? You know this guy isn't going somewhere.
And trying to pick up any sort of pattern, haven't been able to do it. Again, some time near LAX. Obviously, this started far south of here, as we've been reporting, down in the Port of Los Angeles area, and now inching northward. It was the 110 for
a bit.
It
looked like a bird flew by. You think that's what she thought was him throwing something out the window?
Around the LAX area, the duration of this pursuit, again, it started
Sounds
before
right.
4 o'clock, and now continue to inch northbound on surface streets, and as you see, not at high speeds. Again, boding well not only for the motoring public, for pedestrians as well, who might be out for a walk after work.
And over the course of the past hour, the LAPD has made numerous attempts to stop this vehicle.
Roy
They
said,
had
wait
some
till I get my
opportunities
money
early
right.
on, which they did not take, but then they moved in, deployed a spike strip at least twice, and there were several attempts at the pit maneuver, but so far this driver, going very slow, has been able to evade the officers. You see that he even stops. LAPD
There's another pursuit, El Homer says?
That one he hit.
There was one.
So we'll see what happens now.
Definitely hit.
Yeah,
He ran over that one.
Usually the air goes out of the tires very slowly, so he will be able to drive at least
Hit the thumbs up.
And getting very close to the UCLA campus right now on Westwood Boulevard, heading up north. And that's an example of the LAPD having plenty of time to get ahead of the vehicle and strategically putting that spike strip between cars there and getting a successful.
They got him, yeah, they got him with that one.
Oh, and when we saw
something, either he threw something out or it looked like something came off the car.
Maybe 8 feet, so you're looking
with this angle that we're getting on it, we're not going to be able to see the tires at all, right? We can't see the tires on either side.
It looks to be sure to have gotten at very least the front left and the rear left tire. So at the very least, if not more than those
That's
two.
Kind of
that
sucks.
be enough.
Yeah, great work by the LAPD.
We can't even see the
They
tires.
took in the situation. There is a commander calling all the shots in this.
This is the
They
best
anticipated
angle,
where
though,
he was going to go. Then they deployed
right
the
now, I
officers
think.
on the ground. They got the spike strip.
NBC
had
looks
to
all
clear
right.
traffic out of the way, so nobody else ran over it. And
You
that
can
was
see the tires on NBC, actually.
direct contact, so we do anticipate that
they look fine
several
right now.
of those tires on that pursuit suspect vehicle will be going flat. Generally, these are
here we
hollow
go.
tubes that are deployed from the spike strip. So it's not an immediate puncture for safety reasons. The tire will
You never
go
know,
out.
man. On a
The
nice
will
car
go out
like
of the
this, it
tires
might
very
have like those
slowly,
run
but
flat
he's gonna
tires.
start to feel that.
That's a game changer.
Yeah, and it's a low profile.
Yeah,
tire
right,
as well,
Kenny.
so,
Like we saw somebody
that
one
might
time in
affect
an
the duration,
Audi.
how much
Whoa,
longer
look at
he's
these
able to
people.
move on this
What
thing
the fuck?
with total control. Again, when you
We
lose
saw
one of
this
those
guy
front
who's driving an
tires, as
Audi
we've
of some
seen time and
kind,
again,
like a nice car,
steering becomes a
and
very
they
real
spiked
issue,
him
particularly
several
at higher
times. It
speeds.
didn't make
So if the
any
suspect continues
difference.
to move at slower
Didn't
speeds,
matter, man.
you know,
Just
he
kept
may
going and going. They
extend
spiked him
the
like
life of
10
this
times.
pursuit, if you will. But Gil, you
Left
have,
side tires were
you can see
supposedly
the
hit.
wobble
Okay.
now. If you look closely, you can see the car starting to wobble a little bit.
I guess. I don't know.
The
The tires look kind of fine to me.
A clear indication that
What did was I missing something?
in getting at least that front left tire.
Like, I don't know. They look okay to me.
I
don't know.
Gil, you wonder, you know, the state of mind of the suspect. Does he become more desperate?
I would say so. In fact, I think he just turned into the medical plaza here.
Oh,
UCLA
no.
Medical Plaza.
Is there a way out?
Into the loop, so we'll see. What
you might have just fucked
Very,
yourself.
Dangerous situation if he tries to run into the medical offices here.
Oh, no, he's screwed.
But airship overhead.
Oh.
Units on the ground there. He's going very slow here. That's going to give the LAPD
Okay, apparently you can just keep going around. It is a loop. Wait, so he's going to be able to get back on the road?
So we'll see what happens. He's got some people getting
60 minutes is up. All right, thank
here.
you.
A vehicle blocking all the lanes on the right, but the driver there.
I don't know, man. He could go around all these people right now.
Gil, I think a lot of people would ask at this point, why don't the LAPD just block him in? Why don't they just move vehicles in front of that car? And that's because it would really amp up the danger, not only to those officers.
Yeah, it's not
but
smart,
to all
guys.
those people that are
Blocking
out and
somebody
about
in,
at
if they got a gun, or even if they don't,
Yeah,
they've
I think
already
because
got a
there's
car.
concern of the
So
driver
you don't
being
want
armed,
to
they don't
block.
wanna
Just
get any
blocking in
officers
is just a
front of the
bad
vehicle,
idea.
And then you're in a crossfire situation with the officers from behind. So there's also people.
It's
trying
like,
to
you
get
know,
out
you
of
don't
the
want to
buildings
like.
here, so they're likely going to just let
It's
the
like that
drivers
caged
make a
animal kind of
decision
thing. You
here
back
as to
back
jumping
somebody
out
into a
running
corner,
or
they're going to
coming
act
back out onto surface
stupid.
streets.
A lot of foot traffic, as you know, spending time in a medical plaza, near a medical complex, a hospital. There's going to be a lot of foot traffic.
There's cops at the
along with
exit?
vehicle traffic.
Right,
So
okay.
Now you see them.
So the way out is the
boxed in
same as
here,
the way in?
by
Okay, I see.
Civilian traffic. The
I
LAPD,
see.
Trying
There's
in
cops,
vain
they got a spike
to
strip right
get
here, but
the
all these other
suspect
cars are
boxed
going to
in.
come through.
Now
You
see
can't spike
another
them.
spike strip lined up.
You're going to spike
They're
all
gonna
of
try
them.
and bring this to an end as quickly as they can, just trying to gut those tires. He definitely drove over the spike.
This
strip
guy's
with,
just
at the
not
very
moving
least, the front left
because
and the rear left. We
he's
saw that
afraid, right?
roughly 5 minutes ago.
Like, all these people are
He's
stopped
still
because there's
able to
cops
maneuver
there, and
that
they're like, what the
vehicle.
fuck are we supposed to
Obviously,
do?
It's hard to say.
That's why.
What happens, once that
He's
car
stuck right now. They could just
starts to
drive,
move
but like
at-
they're all like,
at
"Oh,
any
there's cops. What do we
considerable
do?"
speed. And here they're moving people through.
Okay, he's got to. He's got to
gonna
stick
try
with
to
one of these
sneak.
cars. There. Oh, that's so smart.
No,
So
he's
smart.
Back into the loop though. He's going to go back
Man.
into the loop and nowhere to go.
He's
with
still
that.
stuck
so he's
there,
gonna have to
though.
drive around or bail out. One or the
So I
other.
guess it's not smart. Sorry, it's
And
not
now he
smart.
knows that they're going to try to do that. He really has no.
It was
other
dumb. He
outlet
fucked up.
Other than to jump out and run.
Okay, so now he's basically cornered, and this is when things get really dangerous for not only for the LAPD but for the public because he's trapped basically, and so LAPD has to.
I mean, you could still get out.
Again,
He's gonna get out if he wants to. Yo, Micah, what's up? Welcome. Shout out to Ulu Micah.
Yeah, they're talking. I'm listening.
If he wants to get out, he can get out, but
there's
they'll probably
cars
hit him with
coming
a
out of
spike
the
strip.
Parking structure here. Those are the vehicles
Yo.
that were in the way initially. So they're trying to coordinate. See, here's a car coming out right there out of the underground parking. So they're trying to coordinate the flow of that traffic so that it kind of boxes him in. Kind of
He's
funnels
got to
him
take it
towards
right
the
out of
LAPD
here, dude. You
as the
can't.
spike
You
strip.
if
So
you
they're
got to
gonna
run
try
over the
get-
spike strip,
driver
you got to
knows
do it.
that
You
the,
can't just
he's
keep
running
doing
out of
this.
time here, running out of space. So we'll see what the driver decides to do if he jumps out and runs or. just
Somebody
runs
give
right over
Micah a
those spike
shout
strips.
out. Where's
yeah,
Scentless?
concerned that he may grow more desperate and
Scentless
make a
probably
more
watching E-Girls,
desperate
dude.
attempt to
There
get
he is.
away,
All right.
which
Thank you,
often
Scentless.
puts the public at danger. And with so many people in this tight area here, again, in a sort of a loop driveway in front of a medical center and hospital here.
This is really
becomes a
slow
very
and dumb at
tenuous
this point,
situation
right?
for LAPD as they try and sort of steer the driver into yet another one of those narrow passageways where they're able to effect a successful spike strip.
The cops are going to get another chance at the spikes if he keeps driving over there. Just do it, man. Bite the bullet. You got to do it. You got to do it to get out, so just get out.
And we see LAPD getting in position now in case
I don't know. This might be the end now.
Run. We see the doors open on that #1 cruiser there. Gil, what do we think happens next? Are they going to move in on this guy?
No.
Still, Joe, what's
up?
up?
Going to order him out of the vehicle. The driver, though,
I guess this is going to be
a
it.
Barricade or a standoff situation here, as the driver has space in front of him now. He knows those spike strips are waiting. Look at this. It's covering the entire street there, or the entire road. So he really has nowhere to go. Here he comes. He's opening the door.
Oh, this is it.
He might be surrendering now at this point.
Look at this guy.
Yeah, he's realized he.
Man, this dude just looks like a sex offender.
And my
doesn't
fear
he?
that has been heightened over the last several minutes for the people in and around this medical center and the potential.
This guy looks like a
harm
scumbag.
to come their way, depending on the state of mind of a suspect and how desperate he may be. It looks as though surrender is the option in his mind. It's the right thing to do, obviously.
Fat ball guy, yeah.
But you always expect the worst, particularly if you're LAPD.
Oh, man.
And we get our first look at the suspect up
He looks like
now,
he's real struggling, dude. This guy needs to. This guy's sucking air. He's so out of breath.
The vehicle so that he can't jump back in and try to take off again. Looks like he's struggling a little
Dude,
bit.
this guy is really, really. What the fuck?
I don't see any canine units on.
What the fuck?
On the scene, but LAPD
this is
will
so
be talking
weird.
to him. It looks like he's trying to communicate with them as well, Gil.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like he is struggling to stand up. He's signaling to them, talking to the LAPD, saying that he's having some sort of
think he's
difficulty
faking
getting
it?
out of the vehicle. Looks like a very large person coming out. So that's part of the problem.
This
here.
dude,
have less
ain't no way this guy's
guy's
assaulting anybody. He can't even fucking move.
Slow moving, maybe handicapped in some way. Hard to tell, but he's really struggling.
This guy can't even move.
And unbalanced there. So hard to say what the condition is of that person. It's possible that maybe he's under the influence of something. That's also a possibility. But he's complying. That's the good news. Really realized there was nowhere to go.
This is why he went to the hospital. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, so we anticipate a peaceful end to this.
Oh man.
We'll continue to watch.
Yeah,
this,
that Charles says this is the I have to go to the hospital, not the jail routine. And I think that's very possible. He's like, yo, I'm
to comply and to bring this to an end. Again, a very difficult situation for law enforcement with so many people in and around this medical plaza.
Why is this the best part of the chase? Dude, it is.
It
really is.
Coming in, going out, and the suspect now listening to the commands, and it looks as though he's having a hard time doing what they want him to do. Really hard to say unless you can hear what's happening.
Dude, just go over and tackle his ass. Come on.
Yeah, they want him to turn around.
Just go fucking tackle this dude.
I don't know.
Why the fuck are you doing this?
Can't say I remember seeing a suspect get out so physically impaired in a situation like this where he's possibly not able to follow the commands.
Yes, they're probably asking him.
Dude,
both
just
hands
go
up in the
get
air,
him and
right,
fuck
with
him
the
up.
hands
Come
spread,
on.
But it looks like he needs to hold on to that vehicle just to stand up.
Contra, what's up? Yeah, they're just gonna go get him. Okay.
They're going in. They're going to take him into custody. And
Like, that was just ridiculous.
The suspect is not resisting.
How is he driving? I mean, yeah, right. What the fuck?
Yeah, Gil, this could have gone 6 ways to Sunday. It started before 4 o'clock.
You know, maybe he's just acting.
Out of the Port of Los Angeles area, a long time on surface streets near LAX, north on the 405, again on surface streets. And what we saw was
he can't walk at all.
Agitated as LAPD tried to move in and execute a pit maneuver. So the question became, how much?
How long was this chase? About an hour.
And would it
little over an hour
mean a potentially violent end?
Absolutely, we were just uncertain about that. We'll see if they find a weapon in the vehicle or not. They're definitely going to search through it. They've already cleared it for any other people, but listen.
Yeah, Kenny, I don't know, man. I don't want to say that. I don't know.
Vehicle with the door open.
Who knows what the hell this dude is
no
capable
need for
of.
medical assistance at this point.
I mean, he must be more mobile than this.
Started just after 4
usually.
o'clock near the Port of Los Angeles. He went through the docks over the 110 freeway on the 405.
It's hard to imagine that anyone would have trouble getting away from this guy.
This one was pretty mild. We didn't see any real erratic driving. He got a bit aggressive after LAPD.
Whimsical, I did not do the chase earlier this morning because I was actually out of the house. I was actually unable to.
He became trapped outside the UCLA Medical
Could have been a kid. Yeah, Gina probably was.
Strips, and he really had nowhere else to go. He was trapped in a circle with
most
LAPDs
likely
basically surrounding him. That's when he came to a stop.
Assault is a wide definition emotional, but the other ones were calling him a rapist.
But struggling a bit even to get into the back of that police cruiser.
Good news, no one was hurt throughout this ordeal that went on for roughly 90 minutes and involved many different areas of Southern California. But the suspect in custody now, and we will at this point move on to other coverage. Gil, thank you.
All right, Gil Levis overhead for that.
It's the news being newsy, yeah. I mean, that's all they do, man. You can't trust what they say.
It was loud enough that we thought it could have been in front of this house instead of the corner.
We'll stick on this for another minute.
Now, a La Habra motorcycle police officer in critical
There's more information about
after his bike slammed into a car.
We'll be able to get.
They're going to go away from it
if
now,
you've
too.
done some of those things or suspected of doing those things and you see flashing lights behind you for anything, you know, running a stop sign or anything.
What is this? What's in the vehicle?
What
is this?
Heart drop because you know that you have some other things.
Looks like a bed, like a comforter, right?
You don't want to have to speak with.
It looks like the thing that you buy a comforter in.
That's
what I think it is.
What was going through his mind as he was originally pulled over.
Okay, Murphy, I'll stop. You're right. Okay, I'll stop.
This afternoon around 4 o'clock.
You're right.
Yes, but
thank you.
No one hurt on the campus of UCLA and anywhere else. So.
Okay, all right.
We can move on with other news right now. New here at 5.
And in other news. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. All of you. All right, Crack, go do your errands. Okay. Have a good night, everybody. If I go live again, it's because there's another chase. So come back, and hopefully it'll be, you know, this long, but much more interesting.